they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Mayegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Mayegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day, then they take money in bulk. Poor man picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say, make we no talk. But thank God say, Mayegun don't come. So my people make you laugh. Oh yo yo, Mayegun don't come. Oh yo yo, my people make you shout. Oh yo yo, Mayegun don't come. Oh yo yo, Mayegun the command of the masses. Oh yo yo, Mayegun don't come. Oh yo yo. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ dódódódó. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ dódódódó. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Mayegun ti dé o.
Good evening to you, good morning to you, good afternoon to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun Live.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Bó bá ṣe eré, àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Pleasant, beautiful evening to you from wherever you are watching from. Share the broadcast. Invite your friends. I've got some beautiful stuff to discuss with you tonight. If you have the time, sit back, relax, and share.
Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ dódódódó. Mayegun diary, Mayegun àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé.
Elder.
Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọba bá gbé wúrẹ́. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé.
Thank you. I actually wanted to start from this GPT that APC, Egbekegbe, Boko Haram gang have pulled again. But since many of you are already talking about this, our awareness, I think I should just start from there, okay? So to so many people who have been asking, what's this all about? We just wanted to start putting this Yoruba nation, the conversation around it. Why do we want a Yoruba nation? What has Nigeria done for us? What are we losing for being part of Nigeria? What is that of a representation that we are not getting? How much of our rights that Nigeria have taken away from us without our consent? So we believe that so many people have been doing a lot for so long, and we call ourselves the intervention team. So we put our, our resources together, and then we decided to go into this. This is just a start, okay? So all these billboards, they are just 4. All right, I'll tell you where they are. So we have one. This particular one is on Lekki, this newly built Lekki, what's that again? Yeah, Lekki Ijebu-Ode Ekwe Express Way. Abi, is that what they use? Or motorway. So we decided to put this right there for those who are going to Lagos. and those who are also coming from Lagos, going through Ijebu and all those areas, they will be able to have this. And that is how we'll start. So we have been told that they are going to possibly destroy it. Well, let's call today day one. All these billboards started from last night. So we have one on Lagos Ijebu Ekpe Expressway. We have another one at toll gates in Ibadan, just right next to the quarry, okay, when you are going to Ibadan. So if you are coming from Lagos and you are going to Ibadan, you can't miss it. This is the one at toll gates. So you can't miss it, okay? So even if you have been denying not hearing about Yoruba nation, now you can see it right there in Yoruba land. So many people who don't, one thing is that people don't, when people criticize what they don't understand, most of the time they in fact hate what they don't understand. So politicians have used every means, every space, to force themselves into the consciousness of the people they rule. Okay, so when you say, oh, let's do this, they will say, oh, it cannot be done if it's not that person, if it's not this person. And those they are pointing at are the thieves who push them to this point. So you see, all those space now is where we have to take charge. Do you understand that now? We have to take charge those spaces. All right. So if they destroy them, that means they are uncomfortable. If they don't destroy or touch them, because there are security provided for them, by the way, okay? So don't worry about that. There is security. However, the message every day that our message out there lasted, right? Every day that it lasts, right, is a message delivered to millions of people who are just going to see it subconsciously. You know, everywhere you turn now, you will see the poster of this person, PDP. When you turn here, you see the posters, the billboard, giant billboard of this person, APC, SDP, 2023, this and that. That is how they cut. That's how they actually manage to get their attention. It's always subconsciously. Some people will be like, I have been seeing this face a lot. Everywhere I've been to. His poster is everywhere. He must be very popular. Do you understand that now? So that is what we want to slow down now. The speed of their 2023 as they are all gearing up, spending billions now. We are not going to spend billions. We're going to spend a fraction of small money. So as they are trying to occupy the minds of the people with their lies and beautiful posters, beautiful billboards, promising them lies, we should not sit back and continue to blame the people for listening to them when we all know that when they open their radio, they are going to see the politician, that thief, on their screen. When they open, you said they're going to be hearing that thieving politician. When they put on their TV, they're going to see that fake pastor who is also milking the situation to better his own life. Everybody will end up in the trap of the politician. So when they do all of this, and then we say people don't listen, they don't even hear anything. They cannot listen. We are talking about Yoruba nation, all this way. They are not. But what happened is that we have been talking. We have not been doing enough to put that Yoruba nation and why into the conversation of our people. Put it in their subconscious minds. Let drivers start talking with their passengers. Do you understand that? Let radio presenters, journalists, let us commission them. Let them pick up the campaign for the Yoruba nation and bring them out in their media here and there. That is what we are going to do. And that is what we have started. So if you see the poster or the billboard anywhere, we know and we expect them to destroy them. But destroying them simply means we are touching a very, very kind of annoying nerve in the heart of those who believe that they have conquered Yoruba land for their project Nigeria, which makes them rich, but makes Yoruba people and Yoruba land poorer. So we need to bring that reality into the doorsteps, into the homes of our people. They need to feel, they don't need to just talk about it. Let me tell you something. When we were doing research, how did Chief Obafemi Awolowo convinced the young Yorubas in 1947, 49 in the UK? They all came here to study. Then it didn't last a year before Awolowo started talking to people of like minds. They didn't have resources. They didn't have any money. They didn't have any organization. They didn't have absolute nothing. All they had was the scholarship board from Western Nigeria. That's all they had. Scholarship board, the Yoruba scholarship board that brought them, that sent them to the UK. But they felt like Yoruba deserved more. That didn't mean that there were no rulers or leaders, kings, the men of the moment at the time when the Awolowos found themselves and charted a different course for the people of Yoruba land, the ones that we always love to refer to today. So when I was studying that, I found out that it has to do with one, having a clear-cut, explained ideology of what this is all about and why. Then getting people of like minds who also have similar or close idea. Then you form that you form that strong movement, even if it has no name, but there's already a bond called ideology. So Obafemi Awolowo, late Chief Obafemi Awolowo, after meeting the right three people he needed, they went back home and they were able to convince the Yorubas back home, educated, not so educated, why Yorubas needed to come together and get independence, even if the rest of Nigeria doesn't want it. So they broke into the political space. After winning the people over, it was the people who were demanding then that Awolowo team should do more. But it all came to what? The people wanted it. So when Awolowo now came into government, and the idea with the other people who joined him, it was easier for the Yoruba people back then to support all the policies of Awolowo, even when Awolowo and Action Group, they had no real money to execute them. Lofty ideas like many of us have on this platform. Ideas. But there's something Awolowo did, or the Yoruba people did. Free education. The free education that Awolowo offered or introduced was not because Awolowo built thousands of schools before they started. No. It was the people's projects. Yoruba people craved education. Awolowo was a role model. What an educated child can be for a family. So when Awolowo introduced the free education in Yoruba land, Yorubas were donating their homes. They were donating their spaces. They were donating their lands for the project of free education for the government of the Western Nigeria. Not because Awolowo had the money, not because they saved any money to do that. It was because the people wanted it. How? Awolowo took the message to the people themselves. First, they rejected it.
They rejected the idea of getting independence. They said it was too dangerous. It was a call for war. I read this history, ladies and gentlemen. So whatever we are going to experience from now on can be the repeat of history. But guess one thing, right? We are never going to be enslaved by history. We are going to learn from history. We are going to build strength from history. And let us just do it this way. I'll tell you, Yorubas will first reject it. They will start, but you know one thing, some will support it. Even when both who reject, those who reject, those who support, they may not even have a full understanding of the whole thing. But because there is a conversation around Yorubas are not getting fair share in Project Nigeria, and the Yoruba politicians in Yoruba land are the reasons why. So if the Yoruba people understand that, and they take back their sovereignty from those criminals parading themselves as Yoruba political representatives, if you can take that away from them, we will take Yoruba out of Nigeria without shooting a gun. Trust me. Awolowo pushed the Yoruba people, inspired the Yoruba people, which eventually encouraged other people in Nigeria today to accept independence. Do you know that? Awolowo was the first that said the colonization must end. The first that really puts effort into it. It was the action group. And that was why it took us another 4 years before the rest of Nigeria finally agreed that Nigeria should get independence. But they rejected the clause that every region or any region who chose to leave can leave anytime. Do you all know that that was part of the independence constitution of Nigeria? It was meant to be. It was Nnamdi Azikiwe that rejected it. Well, he encouraged the North to also reject it. That was why it's not part of that constitution. Because the intention of Awolowo from the word go, young 38-year-old Awolowo, was that we will engage in this, we will get Yorubas involved, we are going to get ourselves out. That was the intention. For those who know the history. But eventually Nigeria happened. But that is not what we want to learn from the history tonight. We want to learn how did Chief Obafemi Awolowo, without billions, without money bags, without all these big men, powerful people, powerful obas, powerful kings, and the rest of them in Yoruba land at the time, powerful colonial masters, powerful other regions, this and that, who could stop him? Without that much billions, Awolowo managed to get the Yoruba people on his side, because Yoruba people understood then that except they came together, there's never going to be an end to colonialism in Nigeria at the time. But cut it down again. That is what we want to learn from the history. And I realized that was why when Chief Obafemi Awolowo, the action group, what they didn't tell you probably is that Chief Obafemi Awolowo and his team, there was no social media, okay? There was no real local media in Yoruba land at the time. You know what they did? They started their own newspaper, local newspaper, writing about the vices, disadvantages, the negativity of things that colonialism is doing, the limitation that colonialism was doing to the Yoruba people. They were writing, they were sharing them, people were reading, they were concerned. It became conversation within communities, markets, in the household, in the churches, in all those places. Some people were against, of course. Some people were in support. But as time goes by, those who were in support started increasing because they started gaining more knowledge. And, they started, the more they talk about it. Obafemi Awolowo and team, they ventured into radio station to pass their messages into different homes. Why do we need this? Why do we need that? They didn't have billions. They didn't have Godfather. They were just students. They were students who came to the UK on scholarship. So that's what we are going to do, ladies and gentlemen. It may sound slow, but do you know the advantage we have today? Awolowo didn't have internet until when Awolowo and their group, when they gained government, the first thing they did was to start a TV station, and at the same time to extend the coverage of all their radio station. You know why? Because the people needed to know. You need people when you gain the sovereignty of the people that way. They will do anything. They will give their properties in support of what they believe that for common good. Do you understand? And how do you keep them close to what you are doing? You keep them close through information. Every penny that goes into the government of the Western Nigeria, Yoruba people, they will read about it in the papers. They will listen to it on the radio. And this information was just there to further enlighten, broaden, and it helped. It did help until Nigeria happened to us in 1963, 1966, and the rest, they say, is history. We have been going down spiral since then. So that's one thing we've learned in history. If you give Yorubas, my own people, if you give them the reason to have a conversation around this, they will have that conversation. If you can make the entire nation, Yoruba nation, that's what we are doing. We are trying to make the conversation and why Yorubas should begin the conversation around leaving Nigeria. It is a legitimate demand. The reason why we have to put it in the subconscious mind of our people right there in Yoruba land right now is that politicians who lie to them every 4 years, who have now impoverished them even further, they are back again. So how do we now expect our people when we don't give them any alternative? So if you want them on your side, if you want to stop election, if you want to stop boycott, if you want to force the conversation of national conference where they will discuss the process of a new constitution and the process of how to begin the process of breaking up of Nigeria. It's a long process, but you need the mighty strength of majority of the people in that region so that I can sit down and I can say, you know what? We are shutting down on so day for so reason. And people will be like, yeah, it's worth it because it's pure waste of time anyway, thinking that these guys will ever change. You know what I mean? You need the people on your side. You can then, at the end of the day, collectively, the people can say enough. When people say enough, you cannot predict how far they can go. So that's why we are resorting into this. We have money. Trust me, we have money, but we don't have a lot of money. But because we don't have a lot of money, we are going to use the money very, 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 judiciously, like what I just shown to you now. So fake Pastor Ruga, the man in charge of the economy of Nigeria, is already relocated his own polling unit to Ikenne in Ogun State. So when I spoke when I spoke with my friends who were handling this, they said, well, we actually put one on, where is that again? Yeah, I think it's this one. If you are going to, you see this billboard, I'll show you. Let me show you.
You see this billboard? Where is that again? Hang on. Right. This one is Shagamu, Benin, or Expressway. You know what I mean? And you see this particular billboard is where is at the Ikene Junction. Let me see, where is that again? It's at Ikene Junction. This is the road to the town where fake Pastor Ruga is claiming to come from. Ikene is relocated from Ikoyi to Ikene now. So this is where it says it comes. So we put one there. So every time he goes home, every time he goes to Ikene now to go and see people of Ikene, because Chief Awolowo is from Ikene. So every time he goes to Ikene, he will see this billboard. So if they remove that billboard, na Shatabandu Komotam, I just make I tell you now, yeah, SOS on that. Now fake Pastor Ruga Kosa. So anyway, we have started. That's the point. We have started now, and we will continue to do this. So in the next few weeks, so we intend to get the number further. People have already suggested that we should get we should get the billboards. We should get them to some certain areas in Yoruba land. I said, don't worry, don't worry. Now, small. This one is just about 24 hours old. Okay, it's just 24 hours old. So we have enough money to erect up to 20. Do you know that? We have enough money to erect 20 billboards like that all over Yoruba land. But we want to monitor them and see how this one is, you know. Go there. If you are driving past any of those routes, go there, take picture, post them online. Okay? So we have some new codes coming, new design, new stuff. You love it. Some people said that we should put the image of Oloye Sunday, but I said no. There are some certain things that we want to keep under wrap. Do you get that now? So we want to keep it as simple as possible. And at the same time, when the time comes, we will put some other images like that. But for now, we just want to keep it simple. What did I just read now? Yoruba Nation now. Now on social media, I've been reading this. Do you get what I mean now? I've been reading this on social media. Now I've seen it on the road. People are saying they've seen it. Tell me, if you have passed through Djibouti, Ekpe, what's it called that place again? Lekki, Ekpe, Djibouti Expressway. If you have passed through Lagos, Shagamu, Benin or Expressway. If you have passed through, where else again? Give me a sec. Sorry, one sec, sorry. Right, so if you have been to Ibadan today, you probably have seen this billboard somewhere around the Quarry, close to toll gates. And if you have also kind of passed through Shagamu Abeokuta Expressway, you probably have seen one there too. So what we are planning is that we'll give it some time. Okay. This is peaceful. We are not attacking anybody. We are not fighting anybody. We're just passing a message that says we must have this conversation. Okay. So after this, we're going to launch another 10 that will now be in the cities. You see them in Lagos. You will see them, you'll see them in Ibadan. You will see them in Ogbomoso. You see them right there in Osogbo. All those areas, we'll pick cities inside towns. Do you get that now? So you drive in the town, you see them. Pure message. You just see them subconsciously. Is that Yoruba Nation flag? Okay. Oh yeah. So we'll continue to get that. And there are more coming. Not just billboard. There's not just billboard, okay? There's so many things. So like I said, Chief Obafemi Awolowo, they did not have internet. We have internet. And we can do a lot. We can do times 10 what they did if we attempt to. But mostly what people don't want to do is that they always kind of appeal. They always kind of appeal to your fear. They appeal to your fear. Watch your head, do watch your mouth. You are calling for war. You are looking for war. There is no war. The only people who actually give death is the government of Nigeria. It is a killing machine. It is a killing system. Okay. So, but we'll let them know how things are done, and then we'll keep record of all they are doing. Let me tell you another thing we are doing, right? Since we had the People's Parliament the last time, I've received calls, I've received voice notes, and I bet many of them are watching me right now. So, and from what I have received so far, it's all been positive, and I love them, right? One of the responses I got, one of them is from this our mother, which I would like to say our lady as well. She's watching me right now. She's in London. So she sent me a voice note and said, Mayegun, I love this intervention we are doing now, and I love the fact that we'll soon be seeing the result of this. But I have something to offer based on the conversation you had the last time on the People's Parliament. I said, okay, ma. So she said, we wanted to start giving water. People suggested that we should give food subsidy. I will explain that, but water. And she said, I have this property in Ikorodu. This property, I've got this borehole there, which normally I always, allow the neighbors on the street to come in and fetch water whenever there is light, when they pumped water. So, but when you mentioned the solar panel, when they mentioned the solar panel on Mayegun's Diary Politico, she felt like she's willing and ready in that area of us. If we can put that solar panel on our own water, on our borehole, right, and continue to pump water for the people by running this pipe from that water. Imagine this. So she said, I don't mind for the neighbors to tap from the water, right? Which means Yoruba Nation will lay the pipe out, a big one, and all they have to do is to connect the pipe and link it into their various homes. So whenever we pump water from that house, everyone on that street, instead of them having to carry water, children carrying this and that, she said, I would love to give that. She also said, if that is something that our team doesn't want to do now, she's also planning to develop the property as well. That's where she has a house, okay? She said she's planning to, put up shops, right? So that if we then decide to open or stock up food or every other, whatever we want to give or sell to the people, right? And we need storage where people can go to, okay? So she won't mind. She will give us all the places that she's going to develop. We can store them there. People can come around and they can always come and pick them up. She said, if that is also probably not useful for now, I also have a spare plot of land somewhere, very big. But that one, I'm not giving it up, okay? I'm willing to lease it for this cause. Anything you want to do, whatever you want to build on it, whether it's going to be a warehouse, where it's going to be a fair center that people will come to every week, when all that stuff, I will give it. I'll say, wow, this is amazing. This is not different from when our own parents, our forefathers, when they were giving their homes, their properties for the free education in Yoruba land, because they knew their own children would benefit. Selflessness, the selflessness of Yoruba people, the hospitality of the Yoruba people, which Nigeria has managed to dehumanize so far. They have turned an average Nigerian to an animal that can just spark and devour with any little or no provocation at all. But Yorubas are always like this. She said that to me. Now we have that on the table. Now somebody else called me again and he said, listen, I've got this about 3 to 4 hectares of land somewhere in Osun State.
If Yoruba land wants, this struggle wants a space to build a makeshift warehouse where people from that region, from that part of Yoruba land, they will know that every Sunday, if you go to this Yoruba Oduduwa fair, sponsored by the Yorubas and Yoruba for self-determination, if you go there, anything you want to buy there, it is 40% less than what you will buy it in Nigeria markets. And you will book and you will go there, you will register, right? You will be issued a card so that before the day where people come in to make those purchases, you would have put in your order ahead. Which means if they are selling your what do you call it? Let me use this example. If they are selling half bag of your gari for, let's say, 15,000 naira, so you know that if you make it to the fair, you will get that same half bag of gari for 10,000 naira and use your extra 5,000 naira on something else. Won't you want to register and join? Somebody said, once we get to that, because we can do it. We can do it. We can. And I put the whole figure together. I was like, if you want people to believe in a cause, you need to get them involved in that cause. How? If you put 50 million naira here now, 50 million naira for a start, and you use that 50 million naira to source for those products from our local farmers, which means you can build a chain value system for the farmers in Yoruba land, where we will be taking at least between 50 to 200 million naira worth of their farm produces that won't go to waste. And we can resell them to our people at a very, very subsidized, cheaper prices. We can do it, yes, we can. Somebody said we should keep the whole idea underground. No, we won't keep it underground. Don't use that idea here. The reason why we are public, the reason why it is pretty much informative to have an idea of what you are doing is not to keep things to yourself, especially ideas that others can sit down and say, wow, I am sharing this with you because I want you involved. That's why I'm giving you all these ideas. You need to be involved. You need to commit your resources into this. If you want our people to notice and get involved, we have to get them involved. You build a system around them. And once you build something with them, something they don't want to lose, something more valuable to them than what they are being offered, your job is half done. Your job is what? Half done. 50 million naira a week, 200 million naira a month, collecting the farm produce, collecting everything we can collect from all around Yoruba land, and put them all together in maybe 3-4 different warehouses in Yoruba land. And a day is chosen. Every Yoruba that it belongs to that club can come there every Sunday, like you go to every Sunday market in Nigeria, every Friday market, or every 5 days market, or every day market. The only thing there is that you can't buy in bulk. No, you can't. You can't bring a trailer and say, load this. No, you can't. So that's an idea. And when the idea of, giving water, some said we should begin to construct industrial boreholes for our people. Okay, if we don't have money to begin to construct great boreholes here and there are many, many of you who have properties in Nigeria. You are watching me right now. You are in America. You are in Europe here. Many of you are all over the place. You are doing so well. You left your properties there. They are just there. So I want to inspire a generation of Yoruba that will understand that getting Yoruba nation takes more than just talking and wishing for it. and then expecting some people to take some actions. We all have to take actions, and we will take all those actions in our own little way. And you see all those little actions, they are going to be the pool of great action that will eventually shift the paradigm, because that's where we are going. We need our people on our side. We can't talk down on them all the time. We can't continue to blame them all the time. We can't continue to be kind of a sitting and standing on this high rise point of, we are just trying to help you. We can't help them if we don't get them involved. That is the point. When I put my own 1 and 2 together, I realized that it is something we can do, and we are going to do it. But we are going to do it timely, systemically, gradually, and as they say, steadily and steadily and steadily. Awolowo, it took Chief Obafemi Awolowo 13 years. It will take us far, far less if we do it right, and we will do it right. So that's why you have just seen there. Intervention, we call it. There's so many things that we have in stock. So many things. They are not cutthroat ideas. They are simple, but they are very, very effective. We will use it. Do you get that? We are still going to be waking Yorubas up. You are watching me from Lagos right now, Abi. We are still going to be waking you up with messages of Yoruba nation, messages of self-determination. Why? We'll be sending you data, facts. You'll be reading them in Yoruba, in English. You'll be reading them. You'll be reading them, and you will get used to them. That if the messages stop coming, you will start asking, kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ mi máa gba message lọ́dọ̀ wọn Yoruba nation yìí lẹ́ni yìí. What happened? Is my phone all right? Yes, we'll get you to that point. We need to put this in the subconscious mind of the people. We are going to force these criminals, politicians, we are going to force them to start talking about Yoruba nation on their different campaigns. Wait for it. It is called planting information in the subconscious mind of the people, even without them knowing. So we all have properties. Many of you have properties in Lagos. You have properties in all those your country homes. You have properties in Lagos. You have properties in Osun. Some of you have properties in Ibadan. You still have properties in Lagos. You have this here. You have that there. You are going to give some of them up. Not like give them up as gift. If you give us as gift, we'll take them. Because that is the beginning. But guess what? You are going to sacrifice. And your sacrifice is not going to be just money. It's going to be more than money. Because we have to grow it organically now. There are so many groups talking about Yoruba nation. Remember that. And our intervention as bona fide, born and bred, blooded Yoruba sons and daughters, home and abroad. A place where we say, Batiberu la bomo. Do you understand? We all have that equal right, and we say everyone has the right. Every group, every Yoruba son and daughter standing up for Yoruba nation has the right to stand up for Yoruba nation as they wish and according to their wills. But in our own way, we will set the pace. We will say it. We will do it. We will get the people on our side, and we will do it seamlessly. It is going to look so easy because we use the simple method, which is the most effective method: communication. So I'm happy to tell all of you that yes, there is also something I am also working on with another team. Okay, this team, their own job, which our money is also funding. I haven't told you much about them yet. But you see, for example, look at this publicity we did now. That one is delivered. Everybody have seen it, Abby. It's going to be like that for a whole month, okay? And that cost us 600,000 naira. So I'm still going to come back to tell you about our figures later. All right? Well, look at that thing you've seen everywhere. 600,000 naira for a month. So if that, if those billboards are not touched for the next 30 days, think about the millions of people that are going to pass through those places. Millions, oh, if you put them all together. Some people will pass those places like 30 times, 60 times in the next 30 days, because they will go to Lagos, they will come back. They will travel somewhere, they will go back. Some people are traders, they go back and forth. Some are, drivers are on the road all the time, they go back and forth. So millions of people will see them for the next 30 days, and that cost us 600,000 naira. I love that kind of budgeting, but I'm doing something else as well. I won't tell you the price of that yet, but it's very handful, and it's also very, very much sensible. Their job, apart from us telling Yorubas, Yoruba nation, why? Nigeria is not for us. Nigeria is not giving us a good deal. Our Yoruba politicians have betrayed us. They have sold out. They are only there for what Nigeria have to offer them. Even if we die in poverty, even if we have insecurity, if we have no job, if we have this or that, they don't give a damn about that. Apart from putting that information on them, we also need to go and show what our people are really going through that we've been talking about all this while.